Mishnah, Sof, Perek Dal de Megillah, Daf Lamed Beis Amud Beis, Rosh Hashana, בחודש השביעי. So it says, in Rosh Hashana, in the 7th month, Be'echad lechodesh, in the 1st of the month, B'Gemara, V'ha'idna Yom HaKama, and now the first day, Hashem Pakad Sarah, and Hashem remembered Sarah. So that's what we read. Umaftirin b'Hashana, and the Haftorah is with the story of Hashana, Lefisha b'Kidasai Haisa Rosh Hashana, because she was remembered on Rosh Hashana. Lamachar v'Elokim nisas Avraham, and the next day we read how Elokim tested Avraham umaskirin akedas Yitzchak kedei shetizacher lanu hayom b'mishpat, and we mention the binding of Yitzchak in order so that we should have remembered today in justice. Umaftirin haben yakir li Ephraim, and we make the Haftorah of how Ephraim is a dear son. Mishum zachor askerenu rachema rachamenu, because it says there that I will remember him and I will have mercy on him. V'yesh lahavin madua hinichu din ha-Mishnah, and we need to understand why did they leave the judgment of the Mishnah and read other things. Because the Mishnah says in Rosh Hashana you read בחודש השביעי באחד לחודש, and the Gemara says ha'idna, and now we read other things. V'ayin b'inyan v'Hashem pakad es Sarah b'Zohar v'yera daf Kuftes Vav Amud Aleph, Uminyan Akedas Yitzchak B'Zohar Chil Gimel V'Yikra Yud Ches Aleph. So look over there in Zohar, where it explains the Inyan and how it's Shaykh to Rosh Hashana, and why we would need to read it then. Yud Beis, Perek Rosh Hashana Daf Yud Aleph Suf Amud Aleph, Rosh Hashana Nifked Sarah Rachel V'Chana. So that on Rosh Hashana, Sarah, Rachel, and Chana were remembered to have children. Amar Rabbi Minalin, how do we know? Amar Rabbi Eliezer. So Rabbi Eliezer says, Asya Pekida Pekida, Asya Zechira Zechira, because we have the word Pekida in 2 places, and we have Zechira in 2 places. Ksiv Rachel, V'Yizkor Elokim es Rachel, because it says by Rachel, and that Elokim remembered Rachel. Ein mizeh b'medrash Rabbah v'yetzer reish parsha ein gimel uksiv b'Chana was Yizkereh Hashem, and it says by Chana that Hashem remembered her. Shmuel Aleph Siman Aleph Yud Tes. Ein Yalkut Chilek Aleph Kav Vav Daled Kav Ches Gimel Ches Beis Yud Beis Daled Yud Gimel Daled Yud Gimel Beis. Vasya Zechira Zechira Rosh Hashana, it says a remembrance of by Rosh Hashana, Dechsiv Shabboson, Zichron Trua, it says a Shabbos, a remembrance of the blowing of the shofar. Mizen Ilmud Denin Yom HaZikaron Rosh Hashana, Zual Derech Pekidos Akaros, and from this we can learn also that the concept of the remembrance of the day of Rosh Hashana is similar to remembering the barren woman. And look what's brought on the verse that the barren woman will rejoice. And b'malchus, that's Silos, and it's known that Sarah, Rachel, and Chana are all a concept of malchus of Atzilos. So the barren concept would be that there's no divine flow. From Malchus, Vayin Zohar Vayera, Kuftes Vav Aleph Binyan Vayas Havai L'Sara B'Mazlei Tal Yachulu. Look what it says that Hashem did for Sarah, that was dependent upon the Mazal. What's the Mazal? That's Yisod. That the Yisod, you go to Malchus, V'yesh Perush Mazla Hainu Keser. And there's, however, an explanation that Mazla did for her, which would be Keser to Malchus. Pekida Pekida Ksiv. So it's written back into the Drusha that it says Pekida twice. Ki pakad havaya es Chana, that Hashem remembered Chana. In addition to the fact that it says Vizkrea. Uksiv Hashem pakad Sarah, and it says that Hashem remembered Sarah. So that's the connection between Chana and Sarah. And before we brought Zechira by Chana and Rachel. And this is what the Maharsha says in the Gemara. Asya Zechira Zechira Beisak Zira Shava. Or Basak Zira Shava Melashon Zechira. So you have Zechira, remembering. That's the Gezerah Shava from the language of remembering. That's why Rosh Hashanah is called the day of remembering, of a remembrance. That on that day is remembered all the deeds for good and for bad. And these women that were barren because of their nature and their mazel, will be remembered for good on Rosh Hashanah, to change their nature and their astrological signs. And that's the request, remember us for life. That the remembrance should be for good. Like it's brought in Medrash Rabbah, Reish Pei Ein Gimel, Reish Pash Ein Gimel, Shezeu in Zecher Chasta Ve'emunas L'Veis Yisrael, that he remembers his kindness and his trustworthiness to the house of Israel. And now on the first day of Rosh Hashanah, we mention the remembrance of Sarah and Chana, like we said, Sif Yud Aleph. And on the second day of Rosh Hashanah, we mention how Rachel cries. And the dear son Ephraim, that's something that happens because Rachel is remembered, that Israel, the Shvatim of Ephraim, Shivtei Israel, which are called Ephraim, are remembered because Rachel was remembered, that she cries for her children. ואפשר לומר על פי מה שכתוב במקום אחר לשני ימים טובים של ראש השנה הם נגד מה שבמלכוס יש בייס בחינוס. And we can understand this according to what's explained in another place, that there's 2 days of Rosh Hashanah, how you have 2 concepts within Malchus. Shilafamim nikris yam alma diskasya, that at times Malchus is called the sea, the hidden world. Lefamim nikris eretz alma diskalya, and at times it's called the land, the revealed world. And that's like Sarah and Rachel, which are like the higher Shechina and the lower Shechina. Chana gematria sag, shu alma diskasya, so to Chana is gematria sag, which is the hidden world. The concept of Binah. And that's why we say on Rosh Hashanah that Hashem is my light and my saving. Amru Razal, and our sages said, Ori b'Rosh Hashanah, v'yishi b'Yom Kippurim, my light on Rosh Hashanah, and my saving on Yom Kippur, b'Midrash Rabbah, Parshas Achrei. V'gam, Amru Sham, Ori v'yishi alayam, so too, our sages said, this pasuk of my light and my saving about the sea, Shneamar v'ya'er es halayla, like it says that he shined the night, Hari d'shayach zelazeh, that they're connected one to the other. So we have the concept of the sea, of Malchus. So the whole point is that you have these 3 concepts of Sarah, Rachel, and Chana, which are a concept of Zechira and Pekida, of remembering and remembering Israel. And there are the concepts of Malchus, which are Shaykh to Rosh Hashana, the concept of the 2 days of Rosh Hashana, the sea and the land. And perhaps he'll mention that you have Din Akashi and Din Rafya. So that touches on the answer to the question he asked before. Why they Lama hinichu Madua hinichu Din Mishnah about reading Bechad L'Chodesh. Gimel Perekama de Rosh Hashana Daf Tezayin Sof Amud Aleph. So it's brought in Rosh Hashana V'amru Lefanai Rosh Hashana Malchuyos Zichronos V'Shofros V'imru Lefanai Rosh Hashana Malchuyos Zichronos V'Shofros. You should say in front of me on Rosh Hashana kingships and remembrances and shofars. Malchuyos Kedei Shetam Lichuni Aleichem, kingships in order so that you should make me king over you. Zichronos Kedei Shial Zichronchem Lefanai Letova, remembrances in order so that your remembrance should come up in front of me for good. Ubameh bashofar adkan l'shono, and with what? With the shofar. Nira dahinu lefish Rosh Hashanah uyom hazikaron, and that is because the day of Rosh Hashanah is the day of remembrance. K'dialif medichsiv zichron truakana, like it says that we learn it from that it says a remembrance of the shofar, of the blowing of the shofar. Alkin omer ve'amru. That's why it says v'imru lefanai zichronos. You should say in front of me remembrances, k'di shiale zichronchem letova lefanai, in order so that your memory should come up in front of me for good. Because of Masha Sham dehadetnan b'masnisin sham b'Rosh Hashanah. And the Marsha explains that we learn in the Mishnah and there in Rosh Hashanah, kol b'nei ha'olam ovrim lefanav kivnei maron, that all the people in the world pass in front of him like sheep. Hinugam kin midichsiv zichron trua. It's also learned from the fact that it says a remembrance of the trua zichron kol b'nei ha'olam balefanav yisbarech, that the remembrance of the entire of all the people in the world come in front of him. Even though there's the judgment, the nafkale mikra de tehillim simin pei, that it's learned from Tehillim kapitel pei ki chok Yisrael hu mishpat lelokei Yaakov, that it's a statute for Israel, a justice for the Elokav Yaakov. So that's the concept of remembrance and the judgment, that everybody is remembered in front of him for judgment. But the concept of that you should make me king over you, that that's also in Rosh Hashanah. That's the concept of how we said that before, the mothers are also the concept of Malchus. So the concept of Zechira and the concept of Malchus. So the concept of making Hashem king on Rosh Hashanah, Shizeu Gamkin Rosh Hashanah, Ein Sof Perek Daled Rosh Hashanah, Daf Lamed Daled Amar Aleph, the Lo Meid Kol Makom, Sheyesh Zichronos, Yihi Malchuyos Imahem, that it says, it learns there that any place that you have remembrances, you should have kingships there as well. Ki Zichronos Hainu B'Duchura, because remembrances are in the masculine, like the word Zachar is masculine. B'Ziranpin V'Derech Prat Hainu Yisod, and especially the concept of Yisod. So that you have the Yisod and the Malchus, that's the Zikaron, and the Malchuyos are the feminine. It says in Zohar Vayakel that a remembrance, that's the place of the Holy Covenant, the Bris, the Natil, Umanish, L'Gabei, that he takes for itself, Kol Chayin Dila Elah, or maybe it's Magish, and stretches forth toward itself, all supernal life. I'm not sure what Namanish means. So that, and therefore, anytime that you have remembrances, that the yesod has flow, you have to have the kingships with it. So if you have a woman who's barren and you have a remembrance, that means that you have the flow of yesod to her that she would be lacking perhaps. But anytime you have remembrances, you have to have the feminine there as well, the malchuyos, the mothers. You have to have Sarah, Rachel, and Chana, the Shiur Malchus, Shiur Ashar Le'avaya, which is the gate to Hashem. So you can't just be remembered, you also have to draw close to Hashem. Like it says in Zohar, that Aaron has to come in with the concept of bezos. The feminine, it's not Zed, it's Zos. Bezor and more daf tzaddikim with Aleph, like the Kohen has to be married when he goes into the Kodesh. Al pasuk pischuli onto the pischel al loli. It's brought in Zohar Emor that you should open for me, that you are the entrance to come towards me. Like it says pischili achosirayasi. The fact that you have the feminine concept, it's like the concept of the entrance that you have to have the Yira Tata first. The entrance way by Parshas Bamidbar Daf Kuf Kaf Amud Aleph Benin Ubalot Lekeren, and it's brought in Zohar Bamidbar that where he comes to the corner of the Mizbeach Bekad Misa, the Keren V'hainu Mishum Dehalo Yachol Adam Mekabel Barnash Alei Ol Malchus HaKedisha. And that is because before he draws close, a person has to first accept upon themselves the yoke of kingship, of holy kingship. That's why he has to go to the corner first, or the horn. And then you can have the southeast. And perhaps the keren, balo keren, hints to the keren of the shofar as well. That you accomplish this through the ol malchus. Because of this, according to this, the kingships are only in order so that because you have to mention the remembrances, but not for the purpose of the kingships themselves. According to what we explained, the whole point of the day of Rosh Hashana is that we should be remembered in front of Him for judgment. But we can say that there's the concept of the kingships for themselves as well. That the main, we can also say that the main concept of kingships is on Rosh Hashana, because your words are constantly in the heavens, that Hashem is king over the world and creates it. That on Rosh Hashana, Adam Harishon was judged, and it was established on that day for generations to be a day of judgment. And that's the concept of kingships. Because a king with justice will stand up the earth. And further because it's the sixth day of the works of creation, that on that day the song is Hashem Malach Geus Lavesh, that Hashem wore kingship as a garment of exaltedness, of haughtiness. Because on that day Adam Harishon was created. V'nigmar ma'aseh bereshis, in the words, works of creation were completed. Ein Perek Daled Rosh Hashanah Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph.